HTTP3 QPAC. What is HTTP3 QPAC? HTTP3 is the upcoming major version of the HTTP protocol used to exchange information on the internet based on the Quick Transport Protocol. Header compression algorithms were first introduced as part of HTTP2 in the HPAC proposal. Since sending packets over UDP does not guarantee order of delivery, HPAC is not compatible with Quick. If you're interested, I have videos on both HTTP3 and HPAC on this channel. Quick review of HPAC. Recall from the previous HPAC video that we had the notion of static and dynamic tables, which are concatenated respectively. So for each entry we had an optional value, and for entries in the dynamic table they were auto-incremented. So once an entry incremented past the maximum threshold capacity, then it would be evicted from the table. So our static table looks something like this. So what is different in QPAC? At a high level, you retain the notion of static and dynamic tables, but dynamic tables are not indexed alongside static tables. The dynamic table eviction process has also changed, and we also introduced this concept of having unidirectional instruction streams between the encoder and decoder, along with some other changes. So what do the tables look like? For one, the static table is defined in the standard just like an HPAC, and it's also based on empirical data but from 2018. It has more entries, there's 98 instead of 60. For the dynamic table, it's very different. So the size is first of all determined by the size of its entries and not the cardinality like in HPAC. Second thing is that the encoder being able to set the preferred maximum capacity size, but the decoder still holds the absolute upper bound. So in this case, we set the value in the settings frame using the settings pack max table capacity. The maximum capacity is set to be 0 until it is specified in the settings frame, and when it is defined as 0, then the dynamic table cannot be used. So the initial capacity table is set to 0, and then the encoder sends a set dynamic table capacity instruction with a non-zero capacity to set the upper limit on the size. So here's the command on the right hand side on how to do that. An entry is defined evictable once it has acknowledged, and there are no outstanding references to the entry in the unacknowledged representations. So unlike HPAC, we cannot just simply evict an entry. In terms of indexing, we have two types of indexing, absolute and relative. For absolute, each entry possesses an absolute index for the lifetime of that entry. So the first entry is 0 and subsequently increased by 1. And in relative, the relative index of 0 refers to the most recently inserted value in the table. So you can see on the right hand side, there's some diagrams explaining each one more in depth. So what about the encoder and decoder streams? So the encoder and decoder streams are used throughout to establish metadata and critical points throughout the quick connection. So we have two unidirectional streams that cannot be torn down. I'll cover several instructions for the encoder. The first one is we can set the dynamic table capacity, which we already discussed. The next one is insert with name reference. The insert operation is actually the exact same as we have in HPAC, but the only difference I want to outline is T. Now remember, I recall that I said that you don't just concatenate the dynamic table to the static table in QPAC. So what this means is that index 2 is actually ambiguous. Does it refer to the static table or does it refer to the dynamic table? So in this case, t equals 0 is dynamic and t equals 1 is static. The rest is the exact same. And the same refers to inserting without a name reference. The exact same pattern applies. And now we have the t here, which is 0, 1, or t, not h. Now we also have this concept of a duplicate. This is our fourth instruction. An encoder duplicates an existing entry in the dynamic table using an instruction beginning with 0, 0, 0. So this is used to prevent adding a reference to an older entry, which can block inserting new entries. So if an entry is almost about to be evicted, we can choose to use a reference, which will duplicate that entry, but then it may allow other entries to be evicted. So the decoder, there's several instructions for this. One is session acknowledgement, stream cancellation, or insert count increment. Session acknowledgement. After processing an encoded field section whose declared required insert count is non-zero, the decoder emits a section acknowledgement instruction. Now for stream cancellation, if a stream is reset or reading is abandoned, the decoder can send a stream cancellation message. So what is insert count increment? The insert count increment instruction increases the known receive count by the value of the increment parameter. The decoder should send the increment value that increases the known count to the total number of dynamic table insertions and duplications processed so far. So how do we deal with out of order references to the dynamic table? Every encoded field section contains a required insert count. The required insert count is the lowest possible value for the insert count with which a field can be decoded. So if the decoder receives an encoded field with a required insert count greater than its own insert count, the stream will be blocked. So the known received count is defined as the number of dynamic table insertions and duplications acknowledged by the decoder. Thank you all for watching.